Good afternoon. Welcome to day 6 of my gratitude challenge. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about academics again. I'll be taking you to Abuja Law School this time around. Shout out to all Abuja Law School students, current, past, So I got admission into law school, and I did, we read, we prepared for exams. Let me just summarize. And so when I saw my results, it wasn't what I expected. I don't know what went wrong. So I had to do a resit, and I had to retake the exams, the 4 exams. There are usually 4 exams. So I don't want to talk about the finance part. I want to talk about the real academic. The finance part goes to another testimony. So I resumed back in Abuja. I was serving then. So from NYC, I reported back in Abuja so that I could take so that I could take some tutorials, then prepare for the exams. So when I did, while I was doing that, so I stayed in family house, class 1 family house, Christian Lawyers Fellowship of Nigeria family house. So I had some friends, we have males and we have ladies there in the family house, big enough to accommodate us. So I made friends with a guy and another lady because, the guy was very studious, and I just felt like I shouldn't be reading alone. I could, we can inspire, we can help each other. Especially, I feel that the guy is quite good. I could leverage on what he has. So we started reading together. So another lady joined us. It became 3. So we go because class 1 is opposite Nigerian Law School Abuja. If you've been to Buhari, so we go to school every day to read. Kind of. So this particular day, I saw a man of God that I knew. He was a pastor in Winners, maybe a deacon in Winners. I think a pastor in Winners. So he came around to a particular quadrangle very close to where I was reading, and he came with students, with a couple of students, like 12 or more students. I didn't know what they were doing. Don't forget, I was reading with my reading mates. So we're 3 reading together. But the moment I saw that man with those students, something just told me. I just felt, nothing told me. I just felt like an impression. I felt that I should follow him. In fact, I'm not sure I've shared this testimony anywhere, because I knew that when I turned 34 or 33, I shared some of my testimony. I didn't share this testimony. It was in church today. While I was in church today, I just popped up in my spirit that this is the testimony. Because it looks like my entire life is full of testimonies. As in, like, if you look this way, because there are some that I feel that they are testimony, but really, I'm a product of testimonies. I mean, I just breathe and live in it, So I just felt within me. We are 3 reading. When, although I came outside, 2 of them were inside. I came outside to do something. You could come outside to drink water, or you come outside only God knows what brought me outside. But even the other 2 guys, the guy and the lady, they could see the door is open, so we can see very close to the door. So, they could see people going somewhere. Well, I think I was curious. I wanted to know what they were going to do at that quadrangle. So I followed them. I'm not that curious, but I followed them. The Holy Spirit is just too amazing. Trust me, guys. Don't allow. It's actually, you are not smart if you are not serving God. That's the truth. It's not. I'm not trying to preach, but you are not smart if you are not serving God. That's the truth. So I was curious. I wanted, not like I was curious. I just felt I should follow them. But I knew that was the Holy Spirit that made me follow them. So I followed them. Apparently, we were going to pray. So the pastor was going. He was some law school student that didn't make their papers, and maybe I think all of them. I think it's all of them. Not everybody. All the guys that follow that pastor are people who want to rewrite their bar exams. Yes, looking back, because the man had to call me after I've passed. The man called me and said, "Oh, I've checked for others, but I've not checked your own. Send me your stuff." So that means everybody. So they followed him. So they were going to pray. That was the first day of the prayer. Like, we want to start a prayer. Like, we want to start warfare prayers on this like that, because we were reading. But the man was smart enough that he might not be reading alone that is affecting some people. And it is true. It might not be reading alone that is affecting some people. So they just advise them, you pray, you read, you pray, you read, the two and all that. So we now start doing it every day. So you'd have gone from morning till evening to pray, to read. So at a certain time, we all meet at the quadrangle to pray. I think he added fasting. Can't remember, So we all meet at the quadrangle. Sometimes we meet in his house. Sometimes we meet in other places. So we started doing that. But don't forget that I'm reading mates with some people. They didn't join me. They didn't tell me they are interested. I was the only one who joined. So that's that we continued. And there are some days that I'll be reading. If I don't feel like reading, I'll just go to a corner and I'll just go and pray. God, I just have to feel like reading. There's nothing like I don't feel like reading. Every day till these exams, I have to feel like reading. And after I finish praying, I'll go and pick my book and I'll start assimilating. So this one is not, there's sometimes that you pick your book from morning till afternoon. If you don't feel like reading, you'll be staring at it. You are deceiving yourself. And other people, you are deceiving yourself and other people that are watching you, feeling like you are reading. But God helped me. When I pray, I'll be able to assimilate. So, I know times when if I miss this particular prayer that we do in the evening, whenever I miss it, I'll be very sad. I will feel like everybody will pass. I will know, as all the people doing the prayer at the quadrangle will pass. Yeah, because I missed. Maybe I just forgot. Only God knows. And maybe in the entire, maybe it was just once or twice. But I remember that at such times, at such moments, I will be sad, and I will not, because I can't go, especially if the man is holding the prayer in his house. I might not be able to, because the man will look at me as a very unserious person. So I'll not look for a corner. As they are praying, I'll be praying, and I will make sure I don't end up my prayer until they are done. So all this happened. So let me just go to what happened. So a day before so when I went to Christ Embassy too, so I was going to Christ Embassy Bari. So the pastor was very close to the exam, the final exams. So we were told to do a sacrificial seed. These people in Buhari Christ Embassy, they didn't know if we were writing exams or not. It's just a normal church service. It's different from the pastor that carried us on his wings on campus. So these people were joining, Buhari Christ Embassy was just doing their own stuff. So that Sunday service, the pastor just said he wants us to sow a sacrificial seed. And I didn't have a dime. Don't forget, I'm rewriting my exams. I can't even task anybody to send me money. Like the year when I was in law school, when they would send me money, Shade is in law school, let us send her money. I can't task anybody. I can't even say that I'm back in law school. Everybody feels that I'm serving. If I quickly went back to law school to do this exam. So I didn't have any money to sow. But I remember that. I can't remember who sent me money. I bought provisions because I knew the exam was closed. So I bought plenty provisions. So, and it was a Sunday before exam started. I think maybe exam was going to start in 2 days time or 3 days time. And I bought the provision last week, Friday. So today they preached that we should. So when I knew that I didn't have any money, I went home. I packed all the provisions. I came to drop it on the altar. I know that some food lovers, like one person I'm looking at, will not like to do that. So I packed all the provisions and I dropped it on the altar, So these guys don't mind me. That's my husband. I'm jabbing him, So I packed all the provisions on the altar and I was just trusting God. So what I did was that, I don't know, maybe some other persons gave me money. So I still had money to buy food because we don't cook in law school. I still had money to buy food all through my exams and all that. So there's this particular day. This is the real thing, and I'll wrap up here. There's this particular day, I don't know why, because I wasn't fasting when I was supposed to be fasting, but sometimes I don't feel like, I'm hungry, so I will just go and eat. I think God just mercifully, it's not like God is harassing us with fasting up and down. I just feel like it's good for me to fast at such moments and all that, but sometimes I eat and all, so So this particular day, I was feeling very weak. While I was reading, I was feeling very weak. As in, I'm not talking about my health. My spirit, I wasn't feeling in the spirit, because all through the days I'm always very sensitive in the spirit, and then I wasn't feeling like praying. That's what the devil does. When he wants to catch you, he will ensure that you will not feel like praying. Whenever you don't feel like praying, someone said that when you don't feel like praying, be sensitive. When you don't feel like praying, be sensitive. you know. So this particular day, I didn't feel like praying. I was not sensitive in the spirit. I was not. But I knew that this is a curious moment. I knew that. Because, so, to be honest, I don't know what happened to my first exam. I don't want to give myself, make excuses for myself. I don't know what could have happened to my first exam. I don't know why I would have failed it. That's the honest truth. My best friend in law school keeps saying it. He doesn't know. He said because I read. I don't know why, but I don't want to give myself excuses, you know. So, but this particular day, I was very weak. So, someone taught me that when I finish reading, on the day of the exam, I should make sure that I don't read. I stop reading like 1 hour to the exam. I should go and pray. That I might have been reading several hours, but when it is 1 hour to the exam, I should go and pray. One senior told me, one of the law school seniors that come back to assist juniors, he told me that whatever you are reading, when it's 1 hour to the exam, go and pray. I don't know what you're going to do, but go and pray. He said, in fact, you have given me all the advice in the world. He forgot that one. He just said, I just remember, I said, one last advice. When you finish reading, make sure that when you read, make sure that you stop 1 hour before the exam and go and pray. And I took that. I think that was that was what helped me. So, but I didn't do up to 1 hour. I would have read and I would have forgotten. So, but I make sure when it's 30 minutes or 20 minutes to the exam, I stop reading and I go and pray. So I've been doing that since the exam started. I've been doing that. But this particular day was the day for civil litigation. I was feeling weak. I didn't feel like praying. Not even 1 hour to the exam. From the morning, from the time I woke up, I didn't feel like praying. I know that, hey God. And I know it's a trap. You know, you must have studied notes. You know how things work with you. I just know that it's a trap. So when it was 30 minutes or 20 minutes to exam, I went to where we used to pray. So I saw some ladies and guys, the elders, they were praying. I held hands with them. Don't forget that I said I didn't feel like praying. I held hands with them. I was praying. When I prayed, I prayed like 3 minutes or 5 minutes. My mind told me that you're not praying it because it's not entering. Sincerely, I don't know how to describe to you the way. Because on a normal day, when you pray with people, you should draw strength from them. I wasn't drawing anything. I just left them. And I went to a corner under the bush, under the tree. I knelt down and I was crying for mercy. I was crying for mercy. Because I wasn't feeling like praying. So all I could do was ask for, I've been told that you can ask for mercy. So I knelt down and as I was asking for mercy, tears was just rolling out. Because I know the devil wanted to catch me. That's the truth. That's what it was. That was what was going on. I don't know what happened in my first one, but at least this second one I can see now. So I went to the exam. After doing that, I went to the exam. The exam started. You can't believe it. After doing, and I decided not to cheat. In my first exam too, I didn't cheat. I've always known it from university. If you want God to assist you, you don't do things that is against God's principle. So some people are still, asking, do you know number 4? That's the kind of cheat I'm talking about. Do you know number 4, number 5? Either I know it or I don't know it. I face what I'm doing and all that. So I did what I knew. Whatever I didn't know, I could guess. Whatever, at least I'm doing something. Either he's guessing, at least I'm doing something. So at some point, I wanted to ease myself. I went out to ease myself. By the time I came back, of course, I've done justice to my work. By the time I came back, it was time for pencil. You cannot be, because they said pencil, but did I go back? I think I went back to my seat, but the time was gone. So I came back outside. You cannot believe it, guys. As they were packing the sheets of paper, packing up, because you will leave the paper on your table and chair and step out. When they say pencil, you step out, you leave your table and chair with your numbers on it. Oh, my people, you can't believe what happened. I just heard them, who is sat on this chair, blah, 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 blah. I showed up. You can't believe that I didn't write my name on my paper. I didn't write my name. I didn't write my name on my paper. There was also automatic failure, because you can't fail the civil litigation and pass the rest. You can't, I even doing it the second time. Only God knows what happened my first time. I don't want to give excuses. I don't want to say it's like because when we fail papers, we would look for excuses. So I don't want to say what happened my first. But this was my reality, my second paper. So the moment they called me in, I went back, I wrote the name, I wrote everything, and now step out. I said, God. So that was what the devil wanted to do. The truth is that the person, because it was just the person packing the papers, he wouldn't have noticed. It's not his business. It's your destiny now. If you want to be, it's your life now. I mean, whatever you like, do with your life. Do you get? The person packing the paper does not have any, he's not indebted, he does Law school did not ask him to look at our papers and see if we wrote our names. I'm not sure they gave them such responsibility. Supernaturally, his eyes just saw that I did not write my name. And that was it. I wrote my name and everything. And eventually, the result came out. And I passed. The devil was put to shame. Hallelujah. That's day 6. Thank you so much for watching.